real quick, I really want to see this video now. This is interesting to me. Myself, Chaos, and Burn Burrito all play Path of Exiles. Path of Exiles 2 is about to release, and they're showing us the first 6 classes that will be dropped in for early access on December 6th, and I freaking want to see what they're gonna be. I am ready. In PoE 1, I was a tank. And I probably am gonna try to do something different this time around. I was a tank and an archer, and I freaking loved it, and I want to see what's gonna be coming up in the near future.
Of corruption, the Count doles out sentences of death to any who would question him.
Oh, is that how the game's gonna start? You get to escape? Like one of the people that you freaking did it. Oh, that's freaking dope.
But first, you'll need to pick a class. Now, early access will initially have 6 classes available. Let's have a look at them. The Monk is a fast and furious melee fighter. He dashes in and out of combat and has mechanics that involve building up and keeping momentum. Like all classes in PoE 2, you'll want to use a wide variety of skills to mix and match different combos.
Well, this looks awesome, actually.
To get new skills, you will first need to find skill gems. Using a skill gem will open the gem cunning menu, which shows all the active skills available in PoE 2. You can choose an existing skill to level up, or choose to engrave a new one. Since this is a level 7 skill gem,
that's pretty dope. Okay, so now they're gonna make it a gem as well. A lot of the stuff you end up doing in the game is pretty like gem dependent as well.
Even if you pick a new skill, it will immediately be level.
I gotta be honest, I'm loving the UI so far. I can't lie to you. I like the sexy ladies on the UI instead. But you know what? This is fine.
7, so there's no harm in trying out something new. The Monk primarily uses the quarterstaff. There are 3 schools of martial arts: lightning, ice, and wind. But don't think you have to stick to just one. The best combos are going to involve mixing elements of all 3. Let's try Killing Palm. Like many Monk skills, this can be used to quickly take advantage of a specific situation. If there's an enemy on low life, you can use Killing Palm to dash to them and kill them instantly. This will provide a power charge.
Especially for
Then we can use a different skill to consume that power charge for a much more devastating attack. The Monk also has powerful combo skills. Tempest Bell, for example, is a skill that places a giant resonating bell. Hitting the bell causes it to ring, dealing damage to all enemies around it. You can also do things like freeze or shock the bell, which will add elemental damage to the strikes. The Monk also has a variety of abilities to empower his staff. If an enemy is close to being stunned, you can use Staggering Palm to punch them down. After that, any attack you do will shoot out wind projectiles.
I'm personally a big fan of minion summons, honestly.
So this just scratches the surface of the options that you have. By endgame, you'll be dashing from pack to pack, spewing projectiles and obliterating screens of enemies with huge combo attacks. Now, if you like a style of melee that's a little slower but hits much harder, then the Warrior is for you. He pounds the ground with big chunky attacks and can shrug off the hits of small enemies with large amounts of armor. Even though the mace slams are slow, you never lose control. Longer attacks can be retargeted as you go, and if you find yourself committed to a long attack, you can dodge roll out of it at any time.
Oh, that's sick!
Among the skill option for maces, you will find a variety of slams, fire attacks, war cries, and shield skills. Here, I'm going to slam the ground.
I am a very heavy shield user in PoE 1.
Any slam skill will then cause these fissures to erupt with lava. I can even run through them with a skill like Stampede to do huge amounts of damage. The Warrior can also use war cries, which can empower your next skill. Seismic Cry, for example, will double any slams from your next attack. The Stampede counts as a slam, so I can double that for even more craziness. If you want to go a little faster and be a little more defensive, equip a shield. In PoE 2, you can raise your shield at any time to block all damage from the front, even spells. While holding up your shield, your stun meter will build as you take damage, so be careful. If it reaches 100%, your stance will break and you will be vulnerable.
Okay, I see.
Some enemies also have unblockable attacks, which are indicated by this red flash. If you see one of these coming,
so
be sure to dodge out of the way. Using a shield also gives you access to shield skills like Shield Charge, which allows you to charge towards enemies and stun them. While charging, you're also blocking
Okay,
the whole
that seems
time,
very similar to I forgot, I'm forgetting the name, but there's quite a few moves that you pretty much like bring up these freaking spires that you can like use a cry for, and the spires will explode, dealing like AOE damage and like
a
5
full
different
damage
points on the
immunity
map.
from
It's
the
freaking
front.
dope.
The warrior also has access to totems.
Totems!
Some totems
Let's
have
go!
built-in abilities, like Shockwave Totem, which can be placed to stun nearby enemies and trigger aftershocks like those from the earthquake.
Oh, that's
You
sick.
can also get Ancestral Warrior Totems, which allow you to use any slam skill in your repertoire. This is a meta skill, which means that it's a skill you can put other skills into. I can take a slam like Sunder and socket it into my Ancestral Warrior Totem. Now when I summon him, he'll sit there and
Oh,
slam
so the
monsters from a
totem will do
distance.
the slam instead!
There are 20 active skills
that's
for Masons, so there's a
awesome!
lot more to try out. But by endgame, you're going to be dropping hammers from the sky, leaping fearlessly into combat, and separating the very earth you stand on. Time for some ranged attacks. The ranger
we
is
got the
primarily
archer!
about the
The
bow,
ranger!
but
That
we
one!
wanted to make sure that she feels agile as well. In PoE 2, you can shoot while moving. Combined with all the skills the ranger has that
thank
allow you to
goodness.
jump around, you'll have a lot of mobility in combat.
Which is very necessary
Both
for the
skills
ranger,
have
I'll
a
be
variety
honest.
of lightning, poison, ice, and physical attacks. Lightning attacks bounce
Dude,
around
lightning on the archer on PoE 1 is so freaking good, dude. Oh my goodness, I love it.
between targets. You can also stick lightning arrows in the ground which explode when hit by the bouncers, or electrocute enemies to take them out of combat. Ice attacks allow you to slow and freeze enemies to keep them away from you. Using poison, not only can you slowly damage your enemies from afar, but also grow some interesting plants. With
Bro's just
21 bow
treating them
skills
like
and all
zombies.
the mobility and combo tools the ranger has, you can take advantage of every situation.
I am loving the
By
graphics,
endgame,
dude.
you'll be creating
So
hundreds
far.
of arrows, be they falling from the sky, bouncing around between enemies, or spraying out of
Do we have a
tornadoes.
1440p? No, we don't, but I freaking love
You
it.
might have noticed in the bottom left
It's
of the
better
screen
than-
that the
it's-
flask slots look a little different. In PoE 2, you have one dedicated
Yeah, you only
life
got two.
flask slot and one mana flask slot.
On the current one, I think I have like 5 slots.
Flasks gain charges as you kill enemies, and typically allow you to heal 6 or 7 times if they're full. But that's not the only thing you can use charges for. Charms
Okay.
are a new item type that will automatically defend you from various debuffs or damage types. Having trouble with getting frozen? Equip a Thawing Charm. When it's fully charged, it will make you immune to freeze for 3 seconds if you get frozen. To recharge them, just kill more monsters.
I mean, I can see that, but like, you didn't just use healing and mana potions. You had dexterity potions that allowed you to like run at double the speed. You had elemental resistance potions that allowed you to resist the majority of elements. There was a lot of other there was a lot of other potion like types than just mana and healing though. So
You can gain
how are they
more
gonna
slots
how
for
are they gonna
charms
like
by
change
upgrading
that? Or
your
how are they gonna
belt.
address that? Or are the charms meant to
Mercenary
like
wields
take
a
over this?
crossbow that can be loaded with
Oh,
different
that's
ammo
freaking
types,
dope!
offering versatility, power, and mobility. All classes in Path of Exile 2 can be controlled with WASD, which makes this class play exactly like a shooter. For the crossbow, you will find skills
That's
that work like
freaking dope.
shotguns, sniper rifles, assault rifles, and even grenade launchers.
I love that
But
so
not only
much
that, there are
actually.
a wide variety of more interesting elemental ammos too. It's very fast to switch between ammo types, so long as you already have them loaded, which makes the mercenary able to combo abilities together for devastating effect.
That is sick!
Use Glacial Bolt to create walls of ice to separate enemies, then switch to Fragmentation rounds to explode the ice, dealing massive AoE damage. If I come across an armored enemy, I could use armor-piercing rounds to break their armor, and then high-velocity rounds to take them down. Or perhaps I could fire a gas grenade to poison enemies before detonating the cloud with an explosive shot for massive damage.
That's freaking
If you
awesome!
want to
I
call
love
in some
that so
suppressing
much!
fire,
It's so
you can
cool!
summon artillery ballistas. These have a minimum range, so you'll want to prepare your position carefully before moving
I'm
in.
assuming that similar to PoE 1, like if one of your teammates does like a wall, an ice wall, you could potentially shatter the ice wall for them as well, which would be sick.
There are 22 active skills for crossbows. By endgame, you'll be calling destruction down from the sky as you litter the battlefield with grenades and pepper your enemies with your automatic shotgun. If you're looking to take a backseat and let your minions do the work, then the witch should be your choice. She
I
can call
love
forth
minions.
hordes of undead monsters to fight for her, while casting powerful chaos spells that debilitate her enemies. Occult skills are some of the most varied in the game, with skeletons, noxious spells, specialty minions, curses, and sacrificial magic. Before we talk about minions, we'll have to talk about a new resource in Path of Exile 2 called Spirit. This is a Spirit Gem, which allows you to pick from a range of persistent skills. All classes have a variety of these skills which can add some very interesting effects, like Arctic Armor, which does cold damage to enemies that hit you, or Raging Spirits, which summon fiery skulls each time you cast a fire spell. For the Witch though, we'll want to be using our Spirit to create permanent minions. These minions will be revived automatically when they die, so you don't have to worry about resummoning them all the time.
Oh, that is so freaking awesome, actually.
Here, I'm using the skill screen to allocate which minions I would like in my horde. You can see the spirit cost of each one. Skeletal warriors are cheap, but weak, useful for tanking damage and distracting enemies. But I want more heavy hitters in my army, so I'm going to unsummon some warriors and instead add skeletal arsonists. Permanent minions come with special active abilities called command skills. You can order these guys to detonate your own minions for even more damage and area of effect. If you want a bigger army, you'll need a scepter. This new weapon type is imbued with even more spirit, allowing you to summon even more friends.
What if you use new weapon type? The scepter was already in the first game. Is it like, does it have like a different effect now? Because scepters were in the first game.
Want an even bigger army than that? You can take advantage of corpses to summon true hordes of minions. But what can a witch do while her army is at work? Well, she has a range of chaos spells to spread disease amongst your enemies, or bone skills to impale them. Or, you know, you could curse them to make them weaker so your horde can take them down.
That's pretty dope.
There are 25 active occult
What about
skills.
the fire laser?
By the endgame, you will be the leader of a fearsome army of the dead, consuming everything in its path. The sorceress bends the elements to her will, using them to unleash devastation on her foes. This classic spellcaster weaves a flurry of elemental magic from afar. The elemental skills have everything you might expect and more. Fireballs, icy explosions, lightning storms, you get the idea. Each spell is unique and has many different ways to build and combo with others, even between different elements. For example, Flame Wall conjures a burning line that not only damages enemies, but also empowers all projectiles that pass through it. If you place a wall and fire lightning sparks through it,
lightning bolts through it, that's freaking dope!
It's a good idea to take advantage of the ability to automatically swap weapons when you use certain skills. Having a special staff with bonuses to fire skills and another with bonuses to lightning skills can really power up a combo like this.
Oh, that's sick.
The sorceress can also take advantage of powerful trigger gems.
So you can like have a staff that does bonus fire damage to create the wall, then automatically switch to a staff that does bonus lightning damage, so you can cast the lightning, throw the fire, and augment it even further. That's freaking dope.
You could grab the Cast and Ignite gem and use it with Firestorm. As you ignite enemies, a counter will go up in the top left corner. When it's full, a firestorm will automatically be cast at the enemy that was ignited. There are 25 active elemental skills. By endgame, you'll be firing off projectiles left and right as you rain down elemental storms on your foes. Now, those are the characters that will be...
Wait, that's not 6? That's not 6? You showed me only like, what, I mean, you showed me like 3. But I guess it's like 2 different styles for each. Alright, that's fine, it's fair. No, he's right. Oh, I love it, my dude. What a freaking phenomenal showcase. Thank you so much for the info. I freaking loved it. I'm a sub. Drop you a like. Please be sure to drop him a like, drop him a sub, and make sure you comment so the algorithm knows you like his stuff, my dudes. It's being shared on the Discord. Go and show some support. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, so good. Thanks for hanging out. Like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, and become a Monodachi today. I live stream all day, Monday through Friday, so go say hi. That's all for now, monos. Goodbye, and thanks for swinging by. Salut!